So another week's gone by, and again, another review. Today is Sunday, so slightly different from my usual reviews on a Friday. This week was a particularly good week for myself, and I feel like it was probably my best week yet, in the sense of how the week developed and the things that I learned and managed to implement from the education that I've been getting. So as usual, week in, week out, it's breaking opportunities down, filling that pipeline, attending viewings, speaking to estate agents, and then obviously following that process through and conducting viewings. And then you wanting to get valuations at the end for the property, just to confirm that end value. And then obviously that is what allows you to determine if the deal stacks and reverse engineer the calculations to determine if the deal does work or not. So, like I say, this week was a particularly good week, and throughout the week it was the usual consistency. However, this week I just wanted to touch up on something more important, rather than saying what I've done each and every day. It becomes a bit monotonous, as it's the stuff that you should be doing day in, day out. However, something I just wanted to share this week from my experience is the valuations that you're obtaining from valuations officers. So some valuations are being done by people who are putting higher prices on properties when they go to list them. And the way in which I know this and have come about this is because speaking with an agent on the phone this week, she stated that a property that I was looking at getting a valuation on, it had previously been valued by themselves at 130,000. However, another agent valued the property at 145,000 and was therefore listed with the agent for 145,000. Obviously the vendor wants to get the most money, which you can appreciate and all understand, as would anyone. However, that then doesn't allow someone like myself much movement, because the vendor has it in their head that they want the higher price, whereas realistically that property is valued at the lower price. And when I'm placing my offer, which is lower than the purchase price, it wouldn't be much lower to make it work. So both parties would probably be relatively happy. However, I can understand why they value it higher, is because when they get a lower offer placed on the property by someone who's looking to purchase it, at least then they've probably achieved slightly more than what they would have with the other agent. However, it's one of them. It's frustrating to hear that. And speaking to this estate agent in particular, she said she actually used to work for the company that valued it at the higher price, and essentially that's how they win their work, which obviously for someone like myself it makes it a little bit difficult, and trying to get the vendor to come down to the price that I need, especially through that agency. So it's one that I've definitely learnt from this week, and an insight into how that particular agency works. So it gives me the confidence moving forward to understand that obviously the pricing that's stated, it's probably well above, sort of 15, potentially 20k over than what the true value is listed by one or two other agents. So that was just something I wanted to share. But also, going on from the back of the week, I did submit a few offers, have had an offer accepted, so it's just now a matter of tying that up and matching it up with an investor for that to be secured for them. So that property was listed for 250,000 in January last year, so 2023. It's had lots of interest, but no one's actually made a formal offer. So I started my offerings, and then it's been agreed at 175, albeit the price had been brought down to 200. So that's 25 grand negotiated off the asking price, and there's about 38k refurb, and the end value that agents are giving me for this property is in the region of 250 conservatively, but they believe it would achieve 260 to 270 on a good day, just depending on how the market is at the time of sale. However, sort of bottom end, you can pretty much guarantee it's 250. So there's a nice about 32k profit in that, approximately, going off the sort of figures that I've looked at off the top of my head from what I can remember. So all being well, that'll get sorted, and successful week all round then. And yeah, on to next week. Next week will be a bit of a shorter week for myself as I'm going away, so lots of work to cram into the first part of the week, but all looking good for next week. Things have lined up, viewings, etc. Starting to build good relationships with valuations officers, so things are looking up, and I'll keep you updated with how the progress of that offer goes and the movement of my journey forward.